Welcome back, and today what we're doing is we're just doing a quick little kit breakdown on Malrik. Now, Malrik is a new single target and AoE mage in Infernal and Esoterus factions. He'll excel in both of them, to be completely honest, just because of the way his kit works. He can switch between ice and fire damage, and the way he switches is dependent on where you put the next player by him, or next hero by him. So pretty much he grants a hero's or wizard's rune to the next hero deployed within attack range. If it is granted to a platform hero, he'll go into his ice mode. If it's granted to a ground unit, it'll stay in the fire form. So pretty much his fire form is single target. His frost form is AoE magic or damage. So when he goes into his frost form, it reduces his damage by 25%, but changes all attacks to AoE. And I believe this AoE is 5 target, like Anora's is. Not positive because it doesn't specify, but I'm pretty sure it is 5 targets because there is something later on in his kit that is specifically 5 targets. So we'll see from there. But it reduces his attack or his damage by 25% because he's then doing that AoE damage. But when he's in the fire form, it's just base damage. So this does go up to 120%. So it probably goes down to 95% on the frost form. He has the regular mage range, so that's good. So we'll come back to his ultimate. First, what we'll do is we'll look over Wizard's Rune. So Wizard's Rune is a permanent buff to put on a target, and it can stack with other effects like Inspiration, Invigoration, all of that good stuff. What it does is it increases attack, defense, and HP of the Rune Bearer by 10%. So this is just an extra 10% attack, defense, and HP. A little bit tankier, a little bit bigger hits for your attack damage dealers. Just tankier and stronger hits in general for HP and defense damage dealers. Not that they're hitting very hard anyways. This can be triggered one time per deployment. Now this is something I'm not positive of, but it makes it sound like it by saying this one target or one per deployment. It sounds like it'll persist after he's picked up. And if you can pick him up, put him back down on, say, like a longer fight, we might be able to buff all damage dealers. It would take a lot of work though. So this doesn't sound like it's worth it, but it is an interesting potential strategy. So let's go ahead and we'll come back to his ult at the end here because it's literally, it's a pretty basic ult. So, Elemental Covenant, his passive number 1. While in the same form, every 5 basic attacks trigger either Fire Blast or Ice Storm one time. If no basic attack is launched for 5 seconds, the next attack is guaranteed to trigger this effect. Fire Blast is 320% damage to one time to one enemy in range and inflicts burning. Solid. And Ice Storm deals 25% AoE damage one time per second to the target and 5 surrounding enemies for 4 seconds with a 50% chance to inflict Winter's Bite. This is that thing that I was saying that it specifies 5 targets. So this is technically 6 targets here, so who knows. But this is one time per second for 4 seconds, so this is 100% AoE damage. Solid. So his passive number 2, Rune Mastery. When casting the ultimate, restores 5% rage to the heroes granted with a Wizard's Rune. And it says heroes, not hero. That's why I say that it sounds like there could be a pickup mechanic to him. But he doesn't have any reduced cost or reduced deployment time in his kit or in his awakenings. That seems like a really missed opportunity. Like for like an A2, drop his redeployment time by 15%. That would have been pretty cool. So When casting the ultimate, restores 5% rage to heroes granted with Wizard's Rune and permanently increases the hero's attack by 3%. This attack increase can be gained up to 5 times for each battle. If no one is granted with runes, restores an extra 5% rage for the hero. So it seems like an attack boost for him and a rage boost for the ally. It would be cool if it was a permanent increase for the ally, but doesn't seem to be. But because this says permanently increases the hero's attack, it seems like this increase will persist if he's picked up and put that back down. So that's interesting. So his ultimate. When the ultimate is activated, increases the hero's attack by 30% for 15 seconds. This goes up to 20 seconds when skilled up. During the attack, transforms the hero's basic attack into either Fireball or Blizzard. So Fireball deals 80% damage to one enemy in range 3 times and inflicts burning. So pretty much he does, what's this? 160, 240% damage? Yeah, something like that. 240% damage 3 times. This goes up to 100%, so 300% damage. I should have just done it with the skill ups, but hey, whatever. So 300% damage 3 times, or 100% damage 3 times, so 300 total percent damage per basic attack. So this is a pretty big hit. It's not a bad thing, that's for sure. And then Blizzard deals 120% AoE magic damage 1 time to up to 5 enemies in range and inflicts Winter's Bite. So the interesting thing about this is this sounds like it's a single hit, but the duration is 20 seconds. Oh no, this changes the basic attack. Sorry, I forgot my reading comprehension there for a second. So for 20 seconds when skilled up, he deals 120% AoE damage to 5 enemies in range and inflicts Winter's Bite. He could be really good for Gear Raid 1. That could be a really good thing. So his A1, his Elemental Covenant is enhanced. Fire Blast deals 60% extra damage and inflicts magic vulnerability 10%. Ice Storm inflicts freeze for, it doesn't say how long. Okay. Reduces damage interval by 0.3 seconds and increases chance to inflict Winter's Bite to 70%. Alright, cool. Attack plus 300. This, I think, would have been better with a decreased redeployment time, but, you know, I'm not a dev, so there's that. A3 is increases speed boost gain by attack speed by 20%. Okay, this sounds like it kind of changes him into, or not changes, but gives him a specialized attack speed bonus. That's interesting. We'll go back and look at his base stats here in a second. A4 penetration is 8%, basic A4. So A5, let's see what this is. The hero gains an extra 10% damage increase when either the hero or hero granted with Wizard Rune dies, applies Wizard's Incarnation on them. Prevents death 1 time when the carrier takes fatal damage. Dispels all debuffs on them and restores 50% HP. Okay. His A5 seems like it could be really interesting. And this seems like it's a permanent increase, not a timed one. So you put somebody in his range that is going to take fatal damage. He prevents it. That could be an interesting arena strat even. If you got him A5, that's the biggest thing. You got to have him A5. So his base stats. Let's look at max level. Very low HP. Interesting on the attack. I think that's pretty low. Let's look at her. Okay, so it's right about on par with that. Okay, so I guess her base attack is about normal. Let's look at, because he shares exact factions with her. And okay, so he's pretty much copy and paste stats for her. Wow, okay. Yeah. Yeah, damn near exact. All right, so his attack interval is 2.6 seconds. Yeah, so he seems like an interesting unit. As you can see, unfortunately, I did not get him, but there's always the possibility of pulling him in the future. And if I pull him in the future, I will definitely play around with him and show a showcase of him. He definitely seems like an interesting unit, just not a very needed unit. Yeah. So if you got him, let me know what you think of him. Do you use him? Do you enjoy him? And where's he helping you out? Thanks for watching, and that'll finish up this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Definitely like if this helped you at all. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. And like I said, comment below where you use them, if you got them, and if you even pulled for them. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.